Well, it's happened for a start as a consequence of an initiative by a group of active and supportive cyclists. So it came out of the cycling network, and they were advocating to myself as the Mayor of the city. They were also advocating to the New Zealand Road and Transport Agency, who have authority for our Harbour Bridge, and they also amongst themselves brought about a real strong support basis for change. And so once all of those issues came together, I made it a part of my platform that I would support a Skypath, which is basically a 4.5 metre pathway across our Harbour Bridge, which will be used for cycle and also for walking. It's about 3 kilometres long, and the proposal was that it would be built by way of a public-private partnership, and that if someone wanted to cycle across the Harbour Bridge or walk across the Harbour Bridge, then it would cost them about $2. And the public were very, very supportive of it. The government, as I say, through the New Zealand Transport Agency said, yes, a great idea. And so we proposed it. It's now been going through a long consenting process so that it's appropriately consented. A little bit of opposition from some of the local neighbourhood, but in the end, I'm sure it'll be finally consented, and then maybe we'll start building it in about 12 months' time. Well, I think it has to be said that New Zealanders are very self-opinionated, and we're also quite individualistic. You know, we obviously live in a very robust democracy, where people's opinions are forwarded, you know, in a public domain freely and are welcomed. The freedom and the right to freely express your opinion is something that we treasure and regard as being at the heart of our democracy. So when I was a young man, I was active and involved in a lot of organisation in a local community sense. And it was through this organisation, this involvement, my advocacy, the leadership that I showed at local community level, that in the end ended in me becoming the Mayor of Auckland. So this sense of embracing and supporting strong advocacy, community spirit, passion for your community, you know, we see that as a strength and something that we want to embrace and encourage. Now, of course, it can be argumentative. It can lead to some very vibrant and challenging debates. But it's also at the heart of developing a city where, you know, we engage people, get their views at the front end of things such as our Auckland plan, as our Auckland Unitary Plan, as the Economic Development Plan, all of these key documents. Some very early soundings and what people think and what they think are critical issues. We prepare the plan and then go back to them again and ask, okay, so here's the draft plan, what do you think? And then they give their opinion again, and we can engage through local community groups and organisations. We can engage through the different ethnic groups. We'll engage with those who are disabled, people who have you know, some challenges you know, in terms of access. So we'll engage with all the different groups, and once we've finished that engagement, then we make some final decisions. And to follow Singapore, we like to think once the decisions are made, that's it, deliver. I think that is the challenge of balancing leadership and the importance of being respectful of and recognising the expertise of the political leadership, the information, advice that they've got, that they are privy to a level of advice, information, knowledge around an area that you're looking to go forward on, for example, transportation in Auckland, where there is a recognition that they come from a base of knowing or understanding better, and that you know, the people in the community, they have a limited level of knowledge and advice in that area, and also it's something they're not totally focused on it. As I am the Mayor of Auckland, I'm really focused on building a great Auckland. for the mums and dads in the community. They're focused on family, getting their job done, doing some shopping, and just living their life. So what I want to do, though, to ensure that there's a sense of us going together, is to give them as much information as is possible and provide them with that information so that at the very least it's available if they're interested. And then taking a well-informed, well-educated, highly opinionated community with me and with our council, we have a good chance for implementing policies that are by and large agreed to. I think the thing that I most appreciate about Singapore, so I'm the first Mayor of a united Auckland, and what has been critical for Auckland's progress thus far is a single uniting vision, a single plan, and then the need for us to be determined in delivering the contents of that plan, whether it's better education, better transport, a more sustainable environmental community. All of those things, the key part is delivery. And Singapore has a fearsome reputation internationally for being very united around a common vision, a clear plan, strong leadership, and an ability to deliver around that. And I think that is the biggest learning for us in the newly united Auckland, that once you've got united, use that unity as a strength to really deliver out on the changes that we all by and large agree with. So I think there are big learnings there. Singapore's got a fabulous transport system. Maybe Singaporeans might not agree with this, but it's a lot better than us. We've got serious congestion. And there are a lot of learnings out of your public transport system, particularly around metro, how you operate your bus systems. And I'm actually looking to implement Singapore's ERP system, or a motorway network toll in Auckland, as being the fairest user charge way of, one, decongesting our roads, and secondly, actually funding transportation investment going forward. So there are a lot of learnings there, and for Singapore, perhaps the way we engage our community and how we deal with those types of challenges, a distinctly multiracial, multicultural, highly educated, social media savvy community is a challenge. So there are learnings, I think, for all of us, but I want to assure your listeners that the relationship between Auckland and of course Auckland through to New Zealand and Singapore is a very, very strong relationship, and that we're looking to strengthen it in the years and the decades ahead.